Coming up on today's Locked On Senators. As of 9:30 a.m. Eastern, we're still awaiting any news on the ownership situation. We know the banks are in the States, and it's a long weekend starting at 5 o'clock.
So we have a Friday mailbag episode. Thank you to everyone that submitted questions on Instagram and on Twitter.
And we also have the Stanley Cup playoffs, which continue. The conference finals continue thanks to an overtime win by the Dallas Stars. This is the Locked On Senators podcast, and it's brought to you by Bird Dogs. Head to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL, and when you enter promo code LockedOnNHL, they'll throw in a free custom Bird Dogs Yeti-style tumbler with every order. Great shorts, pants. Check them out at Bird Dogs. This is the Locked On Senators podcast. It's your team every day.
Your Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I'm Jake Sanderson, and you're listening to Locked On Senators podcast.
I'm Tim Stützle, and you're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast.
Welcome inside episode 807 of the Locked On Senators podcast. I'm Ross Levitan on the outskirts of enemy territory in Winnipeg, Manitoba, alongside Brandon Piller up in the Blue Mountains. Please like and subscribe wherever you download your podcast. We're free and available 5 days a week, and maybe a bonus this weekend if we somehow get news on Sens ownership. Today is Friday, May 26th, and Pilsy, we just set an all-time record for intro takes, so we shook out the cobwebs, and now we're ready to go.
Yeah, we're ready to go. We had a couple miscues, a couple muted mics, but now the mics are on, the cues are good, and we're ready to roll. It's a Friday episode heading into a nice weekend, and Ross, I'm jealous of the weather you have in Winnipeg. Didn't think I would say that very often. Yeah, but it's still nice here, but it's a little chilly.
Yeah, we got plus 32 today, plus 34 tomorrow. So let's have a great weekend. Before we get to all the fun and all the questions, really, probably our best mailbag we've ever done. Really good questions.
Yeah, honestly.
We're going to dive into all of them. Pilsy, we have to get the ownership update out of the way. And by update, there is no update. I'm not pretending that we're knowing something that nobody else does. But last night was
checking our sources.
It was a little strange when you have Ian and Frank Saravalli coming out saying the Sparks Group is still looking for funding. And we kind of pieced the puzzle together when the Dragon's Den people joined and Donovan Bailey, and they're joining after the final. I was going to say at the end of the race, kind of a sprinting reference there for Donovan Bailey. But in all seriousness, it's an issue if you can't fund the team that you're putting down a $950 million deal to purchase. The exact quote that the Sparks Group wrote to their prospective investors, Pilsy, quote, "This is somewhat of an urgent matter."
So is it urgent or is it not urgent here? Like, what are we talking about here? Apparently it's not urgent, because we thought this news was going to break. We thought we'd know the owner of our Ottawa Senators days ago. Like, I thought for sure it was going to happen this week. And that's why Ross time-stamped when we are recording this episode, because we are still anticipating that this news could drop at any second. But apparently it's cool to keep on adding people to the wagon.
Nico Sparks actually spoke last night on Twitter. He put out 3 words because AJ Perez, funny, verbal meme, the 2 arms meeting, the ripped arms with the handshake in the middle. LA producer, LA reporter, sports business reporter, AJ Perez, who for some reason has decided to make it his mission to annoy us on Twitter. That's all good.
He's jealous of the streets. The streets have eyes.
I know. It was very strange. What a pot shot he took, got ratioed into oblivion. That's all good. He tweeted out, Nico Sparks appears to be in the running for the Senators. Hot take. Sparks' recent outreach to Sens alumni and such may not be him dialing for dollars, a fave bank term for securing money. This guy is so funny. Multiple sources have told Front Office Sports that all 4 groups are well capitalized. Nico Sparks quote tweeted that and said, honesty, fairness, respect. with the praying emoji. So there's your ownership update, that all 4 groups are apparently very well funded, but it's somewhat of an urgent matter that they need more funds. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And hopefully one day when this is all said and done, we get a full documentary and we can figure out what the heck the behind the scenes of this looked like, because it's going to be a doozy. I can tell you that for free.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone outside of the people bidding and the Melnick estate and the company involved in handling this knows what's actually going on. But to be honest, it seems that way. Like, everybody seems to have their sources and they have their side of the story. But as soon as you think one thing is real, it apparently is not. And we're all still waiting on who's going to be the owner. The good news is, I do believe no matter who the owner is going to be, it's going to be all positive.
It's going to be the best owner in franchise history.
Yeah, and I think this is a great time for new ownership to come in. There's so much potential for the future, and there were some good mailbag questions, Ross, about some of the ownership stuff and what we want to see be done, no matter who ends up with the team. So we wait, along with you guys. We wait.
And we'll get to that. I wanted to do a very hard transition going from ownership to our first question, which is SB on Sens. Which former Sens goalie do you think you could score on, and how many shots would it take?
Ooh. You know what? I think I could... I was going to say Artem Anisimov, but he didn't actually get into a game. I was going to say I think I could sneak one in on him.
Matt O'Connor from center right.
Yeah, Matt O'Connor was going to be my second choice. Yeah, I'll go with Matt O'Connor.
Who do you think, which Sens goalie do you think has the worst save percentage in Sens history?
Are we putting a cap at games played?
Yeah, why don't we see what Quant Hockey does for this? Goalies all-time, Senators, leaders, save percent. I think they have it, at least 20 games. No. Do you want to go with 20 games?
Sure.
Yeah, why don't we? I'll tell you, the worst has played over 60.
You know what? I hate to do this, but my first guess is going to be my guy, Marcus Hogberg.
No, he is he's actually not even in the mix.
No? Okay, nice.
He had that decent run. Remember the first year when he came up?
Yep.
Yeah, he's actually, like, where is he?
All right, respect to my guy.
I don't even. Oh, there he is. He's right between Joey Decord and Mike McKenna.
Cool.
Yeah, he's got the 19th worst save percentage in franchise history. Why? You think Hogberg's the guy who's you could score on?
No, I didn't say that.
So I'm gonna go with the guy who has the lowest save percentage in Sens history. He's also 5'9", and he's also 60 years old now. So I think I could score on Peter Sidorkovits.
Oh, okay.
It's not his fault. He played for an expansion team here, Pilsy.
Yeah.
But in 64 games during the Sens inaugural season, he had an .856 save percentage.
Who is that other goalie? His name starts with an M. He was expansion goalie too. And the numbers were not pretty. I'm blanking on it right now.
Darren Nadley.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be it.
Mike Bales. These are all goalies in Sens history with an under .870 save percentage in more than 20 games played.
Dumb.
But you know what? The moral of the story, SB on Sens, or as Pilsy would call you, S-Bond Sens.
Oh, man, I was hoping that wouldn't come back up.
We wouldn't be able to score on any of them unless we had a lot of tries, and maybe if they had played a full game beforehand and were a little tired.
Yeah, and Ross, you would have a much better chance than I would. I haven't been on the ice in years, and you're the Mark Mathot version of Winnipeg's finest ODR player. So
ODR? No, I'm Dakota League champion, Division 5.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, sorry.
Top scoring defenseman. I'm more an Erik Karlsson than a Mark Mathot out there, though.
Okay, good to know. Good scouting report.
Jacob Adkins wants to know what our thoughts are on an 11-7 lineup. 11-7 lineup. I wonder what Guy Boucher thinks about 11-7.
That's absolutely sick.
Is the question specifically about the Senators using 11 and 7 or just in general?
Are just general thoughts on it.
I think 11 and 7 does make sense in a small sample size for teams that either have a weak decor, so maybe you don't exactly trust the bottom 3 guys, like you don't have a strong decor, so you want to go in 11 and 7 so that you're not playing kind of the weaker guys so often, or like the Edmonton Oilers case or Toronto Maple Leafs case, where you have a really high power top 6 forwards. So like your fourth line guys are hardly going to play, and you want to get those Connor McDavids, the Austin Matthews, you want to get those guys more ice time. So I think it does make sense, small sample size, but we've had our days of 11 and 7 with Guy Boucher, and I would be okay not seeing much more of that.
I'll take the Sens angle and say the Sens certainly do not have the mix to do 11 and 7. I would rather not.
Yeah, I think maybe if they didn't add Chychrun and Sanderson, didn't break out so quickly, and that decor was looking like it has looked the last couple of years, because that top 6 is very lethal. So if you want to get those guys on the ice more, I'm fine with that. But yeah, no thanks.
We'll get back to, we have a ton more mailbag questions we want to get to, but that's just a little nibble to start. Pilsy, let's hit a quick break and then get back to our mailbag. You're listening to Locked On Senators.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Bird Dogs. Man, Ross, I'm still in love with my Bird Dog shorts. I know I just said it's chilly here. It's only like plus 14, but...
Are you still wearing them right now?
Now, I'm not wearing them right now. They had to go in the laundry eventually. It's laundry day, so they're getting washed. But the good thing, the reason I've been wearing them so long and putting off laundry is because I love wearing them every day. They work for any situation. The versatility of Bird Dogs is what I love about them. You can wear them out on a hike. I went hiking the other day. They were perfect. I wear them to work, bartending. You can wear them out on a nice date. You can wear them around the house, whatever you want. And then the comfort, Ross, that lining that they have in there makes it so comfortable, especially when it's getting hotter out. It's getting a little sweaty. You want a little extra layer of protection down there. The liner does great. And I love all the different colors they have. It's so much fun with all their different colors. So go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL and enter promo code LockedOnNHL. And they're going to throw in a free custom Bird Dog Yeti style tumbler with every order. Once again, guys, birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL. Promo code LockedOnNHL for a Yeti style tumbler. Check them out today. It's Bird Dogs.
Today's episode is also brought to you by Owl & Co. Grooming. If you heard us this week, we had Chris Sinclair on the show, the founder of Owl & Co. Owl & Co. Grooming wants to make sure that your grooming routine isn't something you dread every single day. At Owl & Co., they have a starting lineup of hair tonics, sea salt sprays, and utility balms. They have versatility at its finest. All their products are made with natural ingredients such as coconut oil and like sweet almond oil to ensure your skin gets the nourishment that it needs. They carefully choose their ingredients like shea butter to be safe for sensitive skin as well. It's a local company and they want you to go outside your comfort zone and start with these products every single morning. You can see that creating a grooming routine is something that you can get in the habit in and actually look forward to every single day. Owl & Co. Grooming is all about helping you find a way to make it a grooming routine free from complications. Visit them on the web, owlandcogrooming.com, on Instagram, Owl & Co. Grooming, and go check out our episode with Chris Sinclair. Great guy, gives us the nuts and bolts about why Owl & Co. is so important to him. And since you listen to Locked On Senators, we've got a special discount code. Go try it for 15% off. Senators 15 at checkout gets you 15% off. We know you're going to love it. Can't wait for you to try it. Go check them out. It's owlandcogrooming.com. All right, Pilsy. Great Friday energy on today's show. Going in to the U.S. long weekend for our friends down south, and that's one of the reasons we're like, hey, is there going to be ownership news? Like, are you guys just closing up shop for the long weekend, heading to the cottage, heading out on the boat? We need answers now.
Yeah, Ross, I feel like we're going to discuss every major holiday here. Father's Day is going to come around and it's like, well, it's Father's Day, so we're going to have to wait on this deal. And then it's going to be Canada Day. Then it's going to be Canada Day, Lalim's Martian's birthday, so they're not going to work then. And then we got Independence Day. And then who knows? Maybe, Ross, we'll get an announcement just before your birthday in the August long weekend.
Well, I was going to say it's going to be on my wedding day. We're going to find out who owns the Sens.
Well, we're doing a wedding day episode, so that's not an issue. At least we'll have content.
This is going to be absolutely wild. All right. Chick Run. Great name. FastAF_10. With a potential cap crunch on the horizon, do you think it's feasible for the Senators to leverage a sign and trade with another team where the other teams signs a free agent, retains salary, and then trades the Sens for a pick? I'm not sure it's allowed. Me neither, but it's a cool thought, and I like the idea.
Yeah,
I don't think you trade a player within a certain amount of time after signing him.
Wait, I haven't even gotten to that point yet. Did you get the name here? It's Chicken Run, like Chicken Run the movie.
Oh,
so I'm not the only one messing up the Twitter names here. So I got a hold of that one.
But also Chick Run. Chick Run.
No, he's doing Chicken Run, like the movie.
Chikrin, but why is he spelling it like Chikrin?
Well, to tie in Jacob Chikrin to his Chicken Run.
Okay, of course the chicken farmer figures that one out.
Yeah, come on, get with it. Okay, now to the question. Let me read this. I was stuck on that.
I think it's a pretty simple one. It's not allowed. You can't sign a free agent and then trade him with retained salary immediately. I don't think you can do that. The CBA might have something to say about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. We will have to get our friends over at Cap Friendly to enlighten us on that one. But I'm going to say it's not allowed because it's never been done. Like if it was allowed, I'm sure it would have been done, especially with so many teams trying to circumnavigate the cap. That would be a way to do it.
I like that. Let's go.
Is that word of the day? Circumnavigate. Can I get that?
I don't know. It's not a word though.
No, it's not?
No. Go check the Oxford Dictionary. It's definitely not a word. Well,
no, dude. Hit me with the word of the day. Come on. Word of the day. Circumnavigate. To sail or travel all the way around something. So circumnavigate, that's like going all the way around South Africa and Cape Town. So you're just doing that with the salary cap.
Outstanding.
I don't know if I really nailed that one, to be honest.
No, you did okay, though. Our boy Graham at Sensual Healing on Twitter. We just signed Nicholas Matinpalo. And if you want to check out more on him, yesterday's episode is for you. Do you have any other Euro players you'd like to see the Sens take a crack at? Pilsy, 2 names. I need to clarify. I'm just kidding here. But if you look at the European leagues, which, of course, we had to do the crack research when Graham asked us the question. You know, Stefan DaCosta is still a top scorer in the KHL.
Yeah, he's been lighting it up ever since he left the Sens and went overseas. It's too bad he didn't work out here because that would have been cool to, we always talk about the Francophone angle. Well, how about a guy literally from France?
Yes. Any other Senators from France?
Oh, no. Ross, we missed a major Finnish player.
I know. Jani Laukkanen.
Yeah, I can't say I remember the Laukkanen years, but...
he was actually like a big piece.
Yeah, that's egg on our face there.
Yeah, it really is. The answer is no. Stefan DaCosta. And there's only 12 players in NHL history who are born.
Belmar is one of them, right?
Yes. Antoine Roussel has the most games.
Nice.
Or most points, sorry. Belmar has more games played. Belmar, the only active NHLer from France. Okay, that was talking France. My other one, Chris Domenico. We just talked about him yesterday. Top 3 in scoring in the Swiss League. But to answer your question seriously, Graham, I think 2's plenty. Get a forward, a defenseman, get some added depth. I think it's time to focus on either real free agents or, guys who can help the team immediately without like the cloud of saying like, how do we compare leagues? Like, give me someone a little more sure.
Yeah, I would agree. I think getting 2 depth players from Europe is plenty for now.
Yes, it is. Alex Adams, friend of the show,
nice.
Host of the Behind the Play podcast. Who are your favorite Senators players currently on the roster? Pilsy.
I wrestled with this one between two guys, but I got to go Brady Tkachuk. I mean, I just love the way he approaches the game of hockey. Like, it just seems like he's got a good head on his shoulder. He's a young leader of this franchise.
And he's fun.
Very rare. Yeah, he's so much fun. Very rarely am I saying I was disappointed by Brady Tkachuk's effort. And I think if you go back through all our Sens Central standouts for the postcast, Brady Tkachuk easily is the winner. He's got to be. Like, he has had the most mention out of me, you, Martian, and Jack.
Easily,
yeah.
We need to keep track of that next season, by the way. We need a leaderboard for
yeah, so maybe one of the citizens can take on that role, because Ross, if you and I try to do it, I don't think we'll be able to. So we need someone better at math and more responsible.
Yeah, so
easy to find.
The line that I said a bunch last year was, every time Tim Stützle does something to make me believe he's my favorite player, Brady does something to remind me that it's him. So I hate to agree with you, because then it's kind of like, we just have to move on, but it's impossible not to have it be Brady Tkachuk, in my opinion. Timmy superstar, obviously.
Timmy's right there. He's right there.
But I don't know if he can ever pass him, because
no.
every time he tries to, Brady will fight Jacob Trouba at center ice and then tie the game late and then score in overtime. Like, he'll do crazy things like that just make you fall in love all over. And then he'll do the belt at the Bell Center. Like, he'll mimic Mitch Marner's celebration in Toronto on the 5th goal in the 3rd period. So he's just a ton of fun, and he'll hit, he'll fight, he'll do everything. So Brady Tkachuk is the unanimous answer of Locked On Senators' favorite player. We got to get Brady on the show this summer. It's been too long, and he's really the only guy left on the team who we really haven't had on the show. So
pretty much,
yeah. Oh, Sens swagger. I mean, the first one here is a very easy answer. Curate your perfect array of food options at the new arena. So why don't we have a draft? Should we have a draft? A Mount Rushmore draft of the best food options that we would put at the Sens arena?
Wait, like currently what's there, or what we want there?
Oh, what we would want.
Yeah. Let's do it. I only have one answer, but I'll come up with a couple others, I'm sure.
Okay, let's think about that.
Actually, no. I got a couple answers.
Well, as you think and as we let it simmer, let's hit a quick break, get back to it. We got a lot more questions. You're listening to a Friday into a U.S. long weekend. I like how I'm kind of like, we're doing the U.S. long weekend by association. We just had our long weekend in Canada last year, but it's a great vibes episode here. We'll
keep the good times rolling.
You're listening to Locked On Senators.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Guys, one of the Stanley Cup opponents in the Panthers is decided, but the Western Conference Series is still going on, so you can get in on the action on that. And if you're a new customer to FanDuel, you can get a no-sweat first bet up to, this is not a typo, $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, it's secure, it's easy to use. Honestly, out of all the apps, I love FanDuel's the most. They show you different parlays that you can get onto, and there's so many fun things like first to 5 shots. You guys know I love that for hockey. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a bigger chance at a bigger payout with same-game parlays. So don't miss the chance to get your no-sweat first bet up to, I'll say it again, $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
All right, Pillsy, right back to the mailbag we go. Woo! And I will give you the first pick in this draft. Which restaurants or stands, food stands, fast food, whatever it may be, would you like to see at the Sens new arena? We're going to put a graphic up with this later and have people vote who's they're rolling with. Which one would you go home more satisfied with if you could get these food items at the next game? Okay, go ahead. First pick in the draft.
Ross, this is the ultimate tap-in. The ultimate, like, if this is a dunk contest, you just move the net down to like 3 feet.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a full 360 through the legs two-handed jam on this.
Yep.
It's the easiest answer I've ever had to answer on this podcast. Why is there not a Shawarma Palace inside the CTC? I want to get my chicken shawarma wrap while watching the Ottawa Senators. They're a sponsor of the pod. They're a sponsor of the team. It's the greatest shawarma in Ottawa, in Ontario, in Canada, in North America. Ross, we've even said in the world. Shawarma Palace is my answer.
Guaranteed outside the Middle East.
Yeah, I haven't tried shawarma in the Middle East, so I cannot confirm.
I feel like it's like somebody in Arabia being like, we make the best poutine in the world. Maybe outside of Canada, but not in the world. Come on.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
My first pick, and this one might be need some massaging in terms of the storefront, but Farm to Fork. I mean, they have so many different types of meats that you could literally have a little stand of like your chicken stand, your shrimp stand, your salmon stand, your
meat charcuterie board.
Literally. But you could have it as like, a little station for each and have one dish with each meat. I think that could work. Farm to Fork Delivery.ca. Go check them out. Sends 40 promo code, gets $40 off your first order. All right. Got our sponsors in there, but I honestly do believe that these would be two really cool ideas.
And Ross, it's funny that you mentioned that because I just got my first Farm to Fork delivery yesterday. I got some chicken and some sirloins. I'm going to be doing an unboxing video to show everyone what I got, and I'm excited to try them out.
Let's go. We're back. Farm to Fork.
The grill's cleaned up. I'm going to get grilling. Are we doing snake draft? I'll let you have the next one here.
I think so, because the Palace, especially at a hockey game, that's one A stuff right there, one AAA stuff. Okay. I'm between a few things because I don't want to make it so easy, but like the Sens nailed it with one of their most recent additions. Like I might just go with this. This is something I was clamoring for the CTC to implement for years, and they finally did. So you know what? I'm going to go with it. Golden Palace egg rolls. You know how many I had last time we were at the Club Bell, and I thought
we were talking about ones we want to see there. They're there.
I want to see it. No, at the new arena. So bring it over.
Yes.
Bring it with you. Golden Palace egg rolls.
Agreed. Okay, cool. This could be something that's just an October thing, but for me, it's so good. I love it. And we got Tim Stützle with the Ottawa Senators. So bringing some German heritage food. I want schnitzel on a bun. Give me schnitzel on a bun with Dijon mustard and some sauerkraut. Ooh.
So you want like a beer garden type thing?
Yes, exactly.
I'll put beer garden, like German beer garden.
Specifically schnitzel, though. I'm a sucker for schnitzel.
Okay, German beer garden. I like that answer, though. That's cool. And especially, like, it would add more of a vibe in the concourse, right? People are walking by. Like, in North Dakota, and Nodak has figured out the kind of fan experience thing like nobody else. They've got a live band and, like, a bar where it's, like, instead of it being like Bert's Bar where it's like inside a restaurant and there's like glass, it's like in the concourse. Like you can interact, and if you see somebody walking by, you can wave them over, cheers them, all that. It's not secluded like the bar is at the Sens rink, where the Royal Oak upstairs at the Sens rink is kind of like that, but even still you have to walk up the extra set of stairs, so you're not like at concourse level. I get it's a bit difficult because you want the area to walk through the concourse, especially after the games. But I think if they could figure out like a German beer garden with schnitzel and just kind of people walking around with the big what do they call it, where it's like the steins of beer, then you're in the money there. So I like that. Okay, you're up next in the snake draft.
Okay, those are my two answers, so I don't have a lot here. There's got to be poutine, whether it's smokes or what have you.
Smokes. My second cousin started it, so let's bring smokes. They have them at the CTC as well.
Yep. So gotta have poutine there. I do enjoy a good poutine at the hockey game.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go with Kettleman's. Nice. I'm just trying to make it really local too, and things that's like good like good finger food. So I'll go with a Kettleman. So I've got like my three favorite places to eat in Ottawa right here on mine. Well, and plus you got the Palace. Damn. I know that's big time right there.
Okay, you got another one?
Yeah, well, it's my fourth one. You've got four here, or do you? I feel like three is good.
I think three is good. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll call it the Sens, instead of Mount Rushmore, we'll call it the Sens Legends. Hey, we got one for Neil, one for Phillips, one for Alfie there, all up in The rafters. All right. I like that, though. That's a really good question. We appreciate that one. Send Swagger. He also wants us to predict the top 5 point producers on the team next year in order. Pillsy, give me that quick, and I will grab the next question.
Tim Stützle, Brady Tkachuk, Claude Giroux, Alex DeBrincat, Josh Norris.
Okay. There you have it. Next question from Sens 132405552. How'd this show start?
Our guy.
Pillsy, maybe some people who are new listeners are like, hey, these guys just meet online? What's going on?
No, I honestly, I don't get tired of telling the story. It's like it's a fun story because Ross and I, we met going to the College of Sports Media in Toronto. A lot of Leafs fans there, if you can imagine. There's only 4 Sens fans in the entire school. We start a podcast called Making Sense of the Sens. Honestly, just for shits and gigs and just to get some reps in. And we just love the Sens and wanted to talk about them, to be perfectly honest.
And I wanted to create a Twitter account because I didn't want my Sens obsession to overtake what I was trying to become a professional broadcaster in Toronto Twitter feed. So
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to fire off. So I was like, hey, what could complement a Twitter account and get us reps and everything? Let's start a podcast. And for the 4 people who are listening to this now who've been riding with us since the Making Sense the Sens days, you know that we started at a very opportune time as we were able to cover the 2017 run to the Eastern Conference Final, double overtime, Game 7. So it was, what a ride it's been since then, though.
Yeah, it's been crazy. And then to get to how Locked On Senators started, we were doing Making Sense of the Sens whenever there was big news, whenever we had time, whatever. We wanted to do something a little more consistent. Our good friend, Mikey DiStefano, who does Locked On Leafs, was working with Ross at TSN. He said, hey, I'm with this company called Locked On Podcast Network. They're looking for Sens podcasters. You guys should apply. So we sent them a demo episode, Making Sense of the Sens episode. They liked it. They signed us in November 2019. And we are on, episode 807? 807 now. So we're going strong.
We certainly are. And this is a bit of a follow-up to that, Pilly. I'm just going to leave us in the background. I'm having too much fun here with the new toys on. Oops. There we go. Senegolfer, which interview have you two been the most nervous for?
This is interesting. Do you want to go first? I'll pass it off to you first.
Tim Stützle for me, because I wasn't sure he was going to show up.
Yeah, that was one of my answers too, Ross, because you had been messaging with him for weeks, and we said, okay, here's a time that works for us. It was like Tuesday at 2 p.m. We'll see you there. And he didn't respond. We're just like, I guess that means he's in. Like, we're good. And then Tuesday, 1:50, you send him the link. I was on a phone call, and 2 o'clock hit. You called me, I think, 3,000 times and sent all caps messages saying, Timmy's here, Timmy's here. So I hung up the phone and got on, and sure enough, there's Tim Stützle.
Yeah, he didn't answer the final confirmation. That's fine. And when I sent him the link for the Zoom, he just wrote back, said, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sick, man. And we had a great chat with him. Kind of cool that we were able to save that video. And even though that was before we were on YouTube, we actually posted it after the fact. So you can go check out our interview with Tim Stützle there. And then we almost had him again. And then he decided to sign an 8-year contract worth the richest amount of money in franchise history. So as you would expect, that day kind of got away from him. But we're hoping to get him back on here this summer at some point. But good question there. Funny enough, that's both of our answers. I want to say like one of our others was probably like Craig Button the first time, where it's like he had no reason to give us the time of day and was very generous with us. So we wanted to make sure our questions were good. And Craig's the kind of guy who will call you out if you ask a bad question.
He will. He certainly will.
Yeah. Glenn's rep writes in, if the Sens come out with a new 3rd jersey for the upcoming season, what would you want it to look like?
So, they got so close with the reverse retro here. Honestly, I want the Senegoth back. I want the gold laurels back. Honestly, the reverse retro could just be that old Senegoth jersey with like some sort of flair on it, and I'd be happy about it. I miss the gold laurels on the jersey. That was so clutch.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that answer. And the black one is the one you're talking about, the old black one. And it's so classic. Even though the Senegoth logo is objectively so ugly.
It's bad, but we love it.
It's so bad that it's good.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to go with one that's never been worn before.
Oh.
On the ice.
Yep.
The one they unveiled the team with, the Parliament, that just says Ottawa Senators. I need that in my life. I don't think it would be good as a full-time jersey, but to bring it in for the mix for 5-6 games a season, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I agree. That is something they need to kind of call back on.
Right? Like even like if it's for an outdoor game maybe, or like whatever it is, I just think it would be very, very cool. Yep. Let's run through a few of these real quick because we are running out of time here. Vitaly Abramov, is he dead to us, Pillsy? This is from Windsor Sens guy.
He is, unfortunately. I just don't see how he comes back and finds way into this lineup. He's been mediocre at best in the KHL, and I feel like he's one of those guys that would rather just stay in his home country and get paid in cash.
Not only that, he's a back-to-back Gagarin Cup champion. So even though he's not producing that well, he's kind of found a role as a guy who can be on a winning team there.
For
so
sure.
I feel like winning's fun, and why would he leave if he gets to do just that? So final question, let's go for Carter Cannon.
Ooh.
Do you guys think an offer sheet to Jeremy Swayman could be a possibility?
I mean, yeah, sure. It definitely could be a possibility. I've been looking at other goaltending options. I think Swayman would make sense as an option. The only thing with Jeremy Swayman is I feel like then you've got 2 1B goalies. And look, if you would have asked me before the playoffs started, I would have said that's not a recipe for success for playoffs. But a lot of the teams that had success in the playoffs did not have a traditional starter, and the teams with traditional starters struggled. So, sure, I'd be interested in Swayman for sure.
Aspen Byrne asks, how about a little talk about if Alex Formenton comes back? Now, most recently, I think Bill Daly said they're reaching a conclusion, which we've heard over and over again, about the open investigation into the 2018 sexual assault allegations in London, Ontario, about, I believe it was 6, if not 7 members of the Hockey Canada World Junior team. And until something comes out about that, I don't think that there's anything worth speculating. He's not a part of this team right now. I would imagine they qualify him. Now, if he accepts the qualifying offer, then this becomes very interesting. But as of now, I think that you expect to go on without Alex Formenton.
Yep, I would agree.
So, regardless of who wins, this is from Josh. What are some non-hockey related moves you'd like to see from the new ownership group? This is what you're mentioning here. So I'm going to fire this to you to finish off. Is it pregame, postgame, intermission entertainment, community involvement, marketing? What would you like to see?
This is such an easy answer for me, Ross. I shouldn't say all other teams, but most teams are doing this, and I don't understand why the Sens aren't doing this. Make preseason, dev camp, rookie camp, make that footage available for Sens fans. Whether you have to have some sort of subscription or what have you, Sens fans want that type of stuff so badly. And
that's why everyone was so all in on Ryan Reynolds. And it doesn't have to be a Ryan Reynolds production, but let's get as much behind the scenes access as possible. It can only help grow the game and grow the team and grow the popularity. The Bruins do it. It's called Behind the B. It's a weekly hour-long program that has all sorts of behind the scenes, and it just really makes your players more relatable. It seems like a slam dunk from a marketing perspective.
Especially with this team, Ross. Like, there's so many likable characters. There's so many good storylines. There's so many interesting things that Sens fans want to know more of. Like, yeah, the rookie camp games, I want to see those available. Like, I went to Buffalo to go watch one. Like, just things like that where it would seem so easy to have a camera crew and stream it and have it available for your fans, because Sens fans are some of the most passionate in the league, and they actually care about these little things, and they want to be involved in that. So that would be my number one, is give the hockey diehard Sens fans the content they want and deserve.
I could not say it any better myself. Pillsy, any final thoughts as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, final thoughts for me. I already mentioned it, but I'm very excited. My farm to fork delivery has got here. It's grilling season. The barbecue is all cleaned up here. I got some chicken. I got some sirloin. I'm excited, and I'm gonna do a little unboxing video, kind of like a little video ad, probably Saturday, so tomorrow evening, and I'll put that out on Twitter, and I'll do Instagram as well.
Whoa, on Instagram. Holy moly. We'll be waiting for that with bated breath. My final thoughts. Are we going to, it's more of a question. Are we going to need an emergency podcast over the long weekend? Will the news come out this weekend about the Senators sale?
I don't think so.
With how public this thing's been, though, I really do feel it's going to leak.
Yeah, you would think.
Like once a decision, I don't think a decision's been made right now.
No.
Once there has been one, I think that there's going to be some kicking and screaming from the people who haven't been chosen, and they're going to be loud about it. That's my guess.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, the reverse leak, like we won't know from the people that won, we'll know from the people that lost. Interesting.
Yes. That's my guess of how this will play out, but it's anybody's guess. 4 groups are active: the Nico Sparks Consortium, the Michael Anlauer Group, the Kimmel Group, or Steve A.
I think I got it. A spot.
Definitely no.
I had it, and then I hesitated. Apostolopoulos.
You're completely right. Steve Apostolopoulos and his 2 brothers. That's their whole group. Bully $1 billion. The boys. Hey, want to pitch in on a Billy?
Yeah, sure.
Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. For today, we say goodbye. For Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. This has been the Locked On Senators podcast. Your team every day.